are open. Just to bring you some more information in, we mentioned at the top of the programme that areas had open polls. That was Newfoundland and Labrador, but just an update for you, more polls have now opened. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island and the remainder of Labrador have now opened their polls. So people will be flooding to this period of voting, which of course will be pivotal with the current climate that is not just within Canada but also the wider global issues. Joining us to discuss those global concerns on the minds of voters in Canada is Lord Rami Ranja, a member of the House of Lords in the United Kingdom, who's joining us from London. Lord Rami, thank you ever so much for being here with us. Of course, Donald Trump mentioned by Charles, but this really is a period of instability, not just between Canada and the United States, but also globally with these tariffs. What do you think will be on Canadians' minds this morning as they're heading to the polls, or if they've already voted through post-in ballots, regarding Trump and his actions and his words?
I think the main question will be who can deal with President Trump, because the Canadian sovereignty is at stake and trade is now very important because there is a very big problem between Canada and America. So therefore, the leader who can deal with the President Trump will be the one the people will go for, because I think Mark Carney is a better statesman because he is a seasoned economist. He's been the head of Canadian Bank and also Bank of England, and he's a stable man. So and people know about him, but with the peer, I think he would have won if President Trump hadn't upset the apple cart. So therefore, I think people will be going for the leader who can now defend their sovereignty, keep their way of life, and develop trade with the different countries. I mean, Mark Carney has been in the United Kingdom and he's very much liked here. And I think there will be a chance that he will be able to reach out to many countries like United Kingdom to have a trade deal and to offset the effect of the tariff war with the giant on the doorstep, America. So I think the election would be dominated by the interference of America this time. But I would also like to see the voters electing a leader who does not divide their country as did Justin Trudeau, because Justin Trudeau divided the Canadian on race and religion basis. Pierre Trudeau divide countries, and you can see the tension between Sikh Canadian and Hindu Canadian. Although they come from the same land, they have the same DNA, but by giving them, dividing them for his own survival, he created a very bad situation in Canada. And it's worth knowing that both the people, Sikhs and Hindu, they go to each other's praying places, mandirs and gurdwara. But recent situation was they were attacking each other's religious places, which is completely unacceptable, because the God is common to us all. So therefore, I would like to see somebody, a pragmatic leader who does not appease communities just for the sake of getting few extra votes, but he looks at the overall picture that the unity of Canada, social cohesion, race relation must be at the forefront of any good leader who come to power at this election.
Absolutely. Lord Rami, while you were giving your thoughts there on the impact of Trump, we are showing a graphic that we have on screen, which is just highlighting the switch in voter intention and voter confidence in the leading parties. The line that you can see at the top, starting at around 40%, that is the Conservatives, of course, led by Pierre Poilievre. To give you an idea of the shift that we've seen from these polls and the shift in confidence in leaders and opinion in these leaders. You can see a massive jump for the Liberal Party, and it coincides with the drop from the Conservatives. Now, this surrounds the time of Justin Trudeau's resignation and also in the time that Mark Carney was instated. And of course, his message, his words against Donald Trump have seemed to be extremely popular with Canadians. That rhetoric also shared with the Conservatives, but a clear difference we can see, a huge jump for the Liberals. Coming back to you, Lord Rami, of course, this isn't just an election about Donald Trump. There are also cost of living concerns, something we're seeing in many Western nations, including the United Kingdom. Also, a look at potential environmental factors, green living, something that has been a topic of these final weeks of campaigning, but really focusing in on the cost of living. What do you think the next leader of Canada will need to do to appease the people and make sure that the vote share that they've received is accepted and people are happy with the decision they've made?
The people are always look to leader who can transform their living standard, who can generate business, economy, who can help the economy grow. So therefore, the most important factor in any election is the ability of a leader to grow the economy. End of the day, economy plays a very important role, and the other is the uncontrollable immigration, because that also creates a huge problem on the social services if the immigration is not controlled and people are not brought into Canada who are actually needed. High achievers or high educated people who can actually come and help the economy rather than just having a mass immigration. That can also cause a lot of resentment among the voters. So, and the third is the law and order. That's a very important issue for every voter, that the law and order situation must remain something people can go about their business or job or livelihood without fear. So I think 3-4 point environment plays a very important role these days, because the future is also very important, that we have to now use resources, all the fossil fuel and the energy which we have been using without any concern for the next generation. But now the people are very mindful, and with the global warming and the unpredictable weather situation where people have been suffering from hurricanes, from tornadoes, and from torrential rains, you name it. So therefore, environment is very important, economy is very important, law and order, and above all, also if the education system is also good, which allow people to be able to compete at the cutting edge of technology, science, and medicine. So therefore, all these things a leader has to provide if he has to be re-elected, and he has to leave a good legacy for other people to remember him. So I think you all rightly said, if it was Justin Trudeau, Pierre would have won hands down. But because they changed the horse, and Mark Carney was a great move because he has an international standing and he has dealt with politician, world leader,
yes,
at a big stage. So therefore, Mark Carney might be the one who will clinch the election this time.
Absolutely, Lord Rami, thank you ever so much for joining us. Also,